I graduated from my university with a first in BA Hons in game design. I was very lucky considering I was able to get an internship right out of the university. I had a really enjoyable time doing that. It got me like 6 months working in the industry. It was fantastic, nearly a year actually working in the industry. But I was let go from the company when we started to reach financial issues and someone had to be dropped, and like I was just the bottom of that totem pole. It kind of left me a little bit stuck on confidence because a lot of my work doing that was assisting or doing research. I was never really asked to write anything that big. And like when I like started looking for like actual narrative design jobs and I saw what I had to do, it was something I wasn't prepared for. I had done personal scripts and personal things. The like jobs that are asking for were lead narrative, writing missions, writing scripts, writing whole character profiles, and pages of scripts. And I didn't have any confidence in that. I'm not very good at doing dialogue. I really struggled with doing a lot of dialogue. I was running into the issue of writing naturalistic dialogue that didn't go on for pages and pages and pages.
Yeah.
Like I had to remember that like in a game you need quick, succinct text, otherwise it's just going to be like word vomit. I'm like previously trying, I would just like start like writing down or like stenographing television shows I was watching, just so I could see this is how much someone writes in a script to make it easier for them.
It's actually a good solution.
I was finding that a little bit difficult because I could do that, but whenever I started writing again, it was still like, this is too long. I've done like 3 sentences. I need to do 1. How was the course structured? It was structured really well. You gave us a week to like just have a meetup and to have a chat. It wasn't like a daily thing where we had to come in, and so it took up a lot more of our time. We had allotted hours with you, and I was able to set aside time in my work from like doing other part-time jobs and all that, just to have days of writing and working on this. I was really easily able to complete assignments in my free time, and if there were some weeks where I didn't, I could just spend a day working very hard on an assignment to get it finished on time. And whenever I didn't have anything that was fully complete and I just wanted to like talk through my ideas, you were really responsive to that, and you went, that's completely fine, I know how this works. This isn't like a university, this isn't like a structured thing, this is a workshop to help you build off it. That was fantastic. Your feedback was honestly really fantastic. A lot of things with your feedback is, I think a big thing is like you really like to like give experience and give metaphor and give a history as to why you're giving these answers, which could be good. And at the same time as well, there were some times where you'd ask a 1-minute question and you get a 10-minute answer. That's not of you, and it's fantastic for a lot of things, but like sometimes it felt like it's a lot of feedback for one thing. I just wanted to ask if it should have been this. Honestly, the big breakthrough was learning to cut down on scope, which is something I've always struggled with, particularly back at university. I got A first, I think, because of the sheer amount I wrote compared to the other students, but that meant a lot of bloat in my projects, a lot of bloat in my design. All of my projects in university have the same issue of I have mountains of pre-production and the game is about this big. Because I spent all my time researching and editing and doing all that. My big breakthrough was realizing in my mummy game, I don't need the supernatural. The supernatural is distracting from this, it's taking up too much space, and it detracts from the game's message and overall theming when the actual history is so much more interesting. And it sucks because like, I really love Egyptian mythology. I'm gonna really quickly show. I got this book on Egyptian mythology, and there is so much in here I would have loved to include, like hippo gods and baboons and all kind of stuff. And the more I read, the more I realized I can't fit all of this in to a game design document without it just bloating.
Yeah, but then you have like 5 games worth of content at least. So.
And like, yeah, it was the fact that when I made that decision, because like you were telling me from the beginning, like, oh, are these two things kind of like intermeshing? Do these work very well? And I took the criticism on board, but what I really felt it when I was doing the gameplay by gameplay scenes, and I just went, I have to cut something. I love it so much. I have to kill this. Yeah. And I did. And it turned out so much better because of it, because it was so like clearly structured, where it's And again, like, the best thing about that is by cutting away from Egyptian mythology, it made me interact more with the actual era of the game I wanted to do. And I stopped looking to mythology. I started looking into Arabic TV, particularly like Turkish and Iranian dramas, which were a much bigger source of influence and like captured the feel I wanted to a lot more than my project. Thank you so much for letting me know Kill Your Babies. That is it's fantastic. And so where I am now, I'm a lot more confident. Since I end up leaving the course with you, I've been in my spare time adding and making details to make my Egyptian game look really good, but I've been applying to a lot more game testing to help fill out my resume a lot more. And particularly, they've wanted me to explain why I like a game so much, and I think, I end up playing a Souls-like game, and when everyone else had left, I was still writing up my little review, going like, this was really good, this narratively worked really well, this worked well. It's because of your classes that made me more confident in not only writing, but writing succinctly, quickly, and as detailed as I physically could. I have made someone's job there horrible by writing that much, but I'm also doing some game jams at the moment with some old university friends, because game jam's a really good thing, and it is being able to go into a group and being able to go, this is scope creep, we need to cut this down, this is how we make this work, this is how we make this work. And I had content from my internship, but I think doing it with you, it was a lot more one-to-one and working with people at my same level. Because the internship, it was everyone else is about here, I am at the bottom here, and I'm just taking notes and doing what I need to do. Working with that group, it gave me confidence. It was working with my peers again. It was being in an environment like university again, and it was building up my confidence. It wasn't do as much as you can to get a grade. This was how can you sell yourself as a person, and that's fantastic. Next steps for me are quite simple. I need to fully finish editing my CV. I've been putting it off for weeks. It's fantastic to talk to you again.
Wow.
Look after yourself, man. Enjoy yourself. Bye.